coming and welcome everybody. I appreciate very, very much. This day is precious. Whenever we do it, the reaction, my personal reaction is we should do this more often. I feel like we're shutfim, we're partners, we're all partners, and we're all in it together. This day is just a precious day. I can mention many names. People came, everybody came, nobody came from close. If you're driven, some people here drove from Waterbury, that's still a half hour. And certainly coming from New York, Lakewood, all the different places. People came from as far as Detroit, from Baltimore, from all different far out places. Just really appreciated everybody coming to talk together, to meet each other, to hear music together, to just connect together. So it's tremendously appreciated that everybody's here. There are many names I can mention. I want to thank Rabbi Beitler, is a friend of mine for many, many years. So I wanted to specifically mention, Avi is somebody who is in the Beis Medrash, constantly here, and a growing person, a very, very important part of the Beis Medrash, of the growth here. So I wanted to thank Rabbi Beitler for being here and for sharing Avi with the Yeshiva. There are many, many names to mention. There's a family that came from Baltimore, and Davi Gottlieb is an important guy in the Yeshiva. I want to welcome Davi's parents. Yeah, there are many more names to mention and say. I really welcome everybody to the Yeshiva. I wanted to talk, there's many topics I want to get to. I want to later on, there are many parents here that it's relevant next year in Eretz Yisrael. I do want to talk about that a little bit later. But I think the first thing is to think about Chanukah a little bit. And to talk for a few minutes about Chanukah. Every nace is everything that happens in the world is very exact. Hashem's exact. And the miracle of Chanukah, the miracle of this Yom Tov of Golus, this Yom Tov that happens at the beginning of the winter, this Yeshua happened through a father and his sons. Matisyahu Ubanim, and things are very, very exact. The miracle happened from a father and his sons, from family. The miracle could have happened, the Rebbeinu Shalom runs the world. And it could have happened some tzaddik, it could have been some yid in his yeshiva. It did not happen from Rosh Yeshiva and his yeshiva. That did not cause the Yeshua. That could have been, everything's very exact. It was Matisyahu Uban, of a man and his family. And the story of Chanukah is the story of our galus, that the streets and the values of the streets are not necessarily very Toradic. When there's Geula, in Geula, so the streets and the society is Toradic. In Galus, society is running different. Things are not, there's not such a ruach of Tara, of Kedusha, of sincerity. And in Galus, the Yeshua happens when one family within the home, the street is not safe. The values out there are not Toradic, are not pure, are not sincere. And the Yeshua happens when a person in his family, together with his sons, a man and his sons, make a commitment to Hashem, to sincerity, to serving Hashem sincerely, then the Yeshua happens. And Ad HaYom Hazeh, we light Ner Chanukah, Ner Ishu Beisai. Ad HaYom Hazeh, the mitzvah of Ner Chanukah is a family, each family lights Ner Ishu Beisai. Together with their family, we light the menorah. I have observed in Yeshiva, the way Yidden respond to Ner Chanukah, I don't know if there's a mitzvah. Shofar and Ner Chanukah, the two mitzvahs, it's deep in the hearts of Yidden. Shofar and Ner Chanukah, those two mitzvahs different than any other mitzvah. You see the way Yidden respond to Tkiyah Shofar and the way Yidden respond to Ner Chanukah. Thank you for being here. Aaron Harel is one of the strong, the whole year, just involved, growing. You watch him learning hours a day. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Rambam calls Ner Chanukah mitzvah chaviva, a very precious mitzvah. And you watch the way Yidden respond to Ner Chanukah. I love being in this space mesh. We don't light in the dorms, like is the minig and Klal Yisrael of yeshivas. Yeshivas don't light in the dormitories. There's been stories already, and that's the psak of yeshivas. And we light in this room, which is anyway the place that we live. This is the room where the yeshiva happens and exists. And we light all the Ner Chanukahs all lit in this room. And you watch guys, it's not, you watch people come, I'm not talking about it's pushed and forced, it's not a forced joke. You watch guy after guy light the Ner Chanukah with sincerity, with such purpose, such just the seriousness. You would expect teenagers, people light fire, and you'd expect some leitzana, some zero. There's a certain seriousness, a certain chavivus, as the Rambam calls Ner Chanukah mitzvah chaviva ma'od, a very precious mitzvah. And specifically the Yeshua of Chanukah happened from mishpachos, from families, from a father and his sons, a mishpacha with warmth, with sincerity, with loyal to Hashem, and from there the nisim happened. So I wanted to talk about Chanukah for a few minutes. The Yevanim were geyser against three things. The Yevanim made exer. Should we put more chairs? The Yevanim were geyser against three things. The first thing, the Yevanim were geyser against Shabbos Kodesh. And it's obvious if you want to start up with our people, if you want to touch, if you want to impact and affect the heart and soul of our people, so you'd start up with Shabbos. That would make sense. Anybody, if we took a poll around this room, it's part of identity. The name of Am Yisrael. We're called Am Mikadshei Shvi. It's one of our names. We're the nation that sanctifies Shabbos Kodesh. It's core identity. We're in an age when people ask, who am I? Who am I? They want to know, I'm not just doing, I need to know who I am. Shabbos is a day of identity. We're the Am Mikadshei Shvi, the nation that sanctifies Shabbos is identity. So if you want to start up with a Yid, you start up with Shabbos Kodesh. Anybody would predict that. And certainly the Yevanim understood that, and they were geyser against Shabbos Kodesh. Understood. The next thing the Yevanim were geyser against and started up is Bris Milah. Milah is the mark on our body, the ice on our body. Again, identity. It's the ice on our body. It's interesting. It says that David HaMelech was bathing, and David HaMelech had a sadness because he didn't have his tefillin on and he didn't have his tzitzis on, and he was missing a mitzvah. He was missing a mitzvah, and he had a certain sadness. And then he remembered the Bris Milah. And he got happy. Sasa Neichel and Rasecha, he got very happy. What happened? The bris, the ice on our body, David HaMelech was not in the middle of the mitzvah, so why is he happy? Tzitzis, he's Isaac in a mitzvah. Tefillin, he's Isaac in a mitzvah. Why does he remember the milah and get happy? The milah is the mark on our body that it's not just about an action, it's who we are. We're the nation that's close to Hashem. We're the nation that was chosen to serve Hashem. So Bris Milah, the ice on our body, the mark on our body of the preciousness of the Yid, that Hashem wants Am Yisrael. Haboicher b'Am Yisrael b'Ava, Hashem wants us and chose us, is Bris. It's a very chamerdik assay. It's the only two assays that are chayiv kares for not keeping, and one is Bris Milah. And certainly it makes sense that the Yevanim were geyser against Bris Milah. So the Yevanim made a gzeira against Shabbos Kodesh and Bris Milah. Both of those, all of us understand that the Yevanim were geyser against. The third thing they were geyser against is a pella, is a shaker. The third thing they were geyser against. Shabbos and Bris Milah, Pashut. The third thing the Yevanim were geyser against is Kiddush HaChodesh. It's like strange. We have beautiful mitzvahs and we can talk about the value. Every mitzvah is valuable and precious and has an infinite value. But certainly none of us would guess this as a core mitzvah of Am Yisrael, as a mitzvah. If you wanted to attack our essence, if you wanted to fight us, if you wanted to defeat us, Shabbos you'd be geyser against for certain. Come, please. Certainly you'd be good. Shabbos, anybody would understand. Bris Milah, anybody would understand. But to be geyser against, you're fighting Am Yisrael, our nation, our people, the specialness of Klal Yisrael, to attack Kiddush HaChodesh. It's not something I think that any of us would pick, Kiddush HaChodesh, and it needs work, and I think anybody thinking about Chanukah, and thinking the victory over the Yevanim, over the forces of Yavan, it could use thought. Why that mitzvah of Kiddush Levana, of the Mekadesh, the months? Why is that such a central mitzvah that Yevanim were geyser against? Every Chanukah we have a Shabbos and Chanukah, at least one and sometimes two. There's always Rosh Chodesh and Chanukah. Teves, Rosh Chodesh, Teves always comes out because this is what they were geyser against. And Bris Milah, Chanukah's 8 days, is the Keneged, the bris. My wife and I were zeicha. Our oldest son is here, and we were zeicha that his bris was on Chanukah. It's always precious to make a bris on Chanukah. That's one of the three things they were geyser. But what is this that they were geyser? Thank you, Rabbi. What is it that they were geyser against Kiddush Levana? So there's much to say and much to think. I don't like a forced answer, and it's like really troubling. It's confusing that they were geyser. None of us, I think, would say that's like a central theme of Yiddishkeit. What I want to suggest, and it needs a lot of thought, it needs work, but I want to suggest, and relevant to this yeshiva, this is what I would like to suggest. What is the role of the Levana? The moon does not have its own light. The moon doesn't have. The sun has its own and is a provider of light. The moon reflects light. The moon specifically reflects light in dark places at night, when you don't have the sun and it's pitch black. And the moon in a place where the sun can't reach, the moon reflects the light. That's the job of Levana. It reflects light in places the sun can't reach. And in a certain way, the moon has a mila over the sun. The moon reaches places the sun can't reach. That's the task of the Levana. Klal Yisrael is a unique people. The whole world counts as calendar after the sun. And one people have a mitzvah d'oraisa, this weird people, us, Am Yisrael, this special, unique people. We count a different calendar. We count the lunar calendar. We count after the moon. It creates problems, by the way. It's complicated because our year is 11 days shorter than the rest of the world. And of course, there's a whole job. Every 19 years, we have 7 leap years to make up for those extra 11 days that are missing. Those 11 days, so roughly every 3 years. 19 years, 7 times, we have an extra month, so you make up for those 11 days, those 33 days, every 3 years. The bottom line is we count after the Levana, we count the year after the cycle of the Levana, after the moon. And we're people, why do we count after the moon? is the message to Am Yisrael. All of us have a special neshama, and our jobs is to reflect to bring light where the sun doesn't reach, to be Mekadesh Shem Shemayim, to bring a godliness. Each of us have an aspect, have a neshama that's a chelek elokami mal mamish. And our job is to bring a beauty, a sweetness, a light. Each of us brings an a unique a unique light to specifically where the sun does not necessarily shine. We have our own unique stations and places, and to bring a light there. And that's where people who count after the Levana. In our history, we've had suns and we had moons. Moshe Rabbeinu was a sun, a tremendous light. And in a certain way, there are people we couldn't look at Moshe Rabbeinu. Kikaran Arpanav. It was too shiny. You can't stare at the sun. There was a certain amount we couldn't get from Moshe Rabbeinu. But we had a Levana, we had a moon. Yeshua, the Gemara says, is a Levana, is a moon. And Yeshua was able to take the light of Moshe Rabbeinu and bring it to Klal Yisrael, and to access it in ways that we were able to receive it. Historically, the Baal Shem Tov was a tremendous light. But the Or of Chasidus was spread much more by the Maggid, by the Baal Shem's Talmud, the Maggid, who was the Levana to the Or of the Baal Shem. Reb Nachman was a tremendous light. But without the Levana of his Talmud Reb Nassim, we wouldn't have Reb Nachman's Torah. Reb Nachman was hard to understand. He was mysterious, very mysterious. You and I would not have understood Reb Nachman. But Hashem gave Reb Nachman a Levana, a moon, and Reb Nassim was able to take the Torah of his Rebbe and access it to Klal Yisrael. Our job was we each have a unique soul and a unique art every single Yid has, and the job is in our place, in our station, to shine a light there, in our station. That's the job of a Levana, and we're a people who count with the Levana. We count with the moon. Our whole year is built on the cycle of the moon. And this is unique to a Yid, and a unique task to bring a light, to shine a light in our unique station. And we all have a different station. Each person has a unique station. The story of our life is our station. It's a place. Our family, our history, our challenges, our unique circumstance. And everybody's supposed to shine a beautiful light in a unique place. The chinuch of Yeshiva, the chinuch of the Yeshiva goes with the understanding that we're not all supposed to shine the same light in the same places. We have unique and specific missions. Each person has a unique place, a unique stand, a unique place to light to put their light. Ner ishu beisai. Everybody has their own station where they shine their light in a beautiful way, based on their story, based on their experiences, based on their tchunas and their midas. They have a unique light to bring to the world. And each one is supposed to shine and reflect. It comes from the same places, and certainly we study Torah. Certainly we all come from the same values and are reflecting a sunlight, reflecting from Hashem, from our sources, from where we come, but we have a unique station to shine our light. And that's the task of the Levana. The Greeks who want to fight our people and see a people that each person has value, each person has a light to bring, they fight this Levana idea, this whole Kiddush Levana, this whole idea, they try to abolish. They don't want us counting this unique count. This count that is unique for each person, that there's a journey. It sometimes disappears, the Or Levana, it's complicated. But it always, it rejuvenates and comes back ever new, ever fresh, ever rebuilding. They don't want this counting of the Levana. But we, Am Yisrael, are Zeicha. We defeated the Yevanim, and we're Zeich that we have Kiddush Levana, this moon mission, this mission of shining our unique light in our unique stations. We wanna try to allow want to try to allow each person to shine their light in their unique way, in their unique station. I certainly don't know each person's tikkun. Each person has unique tikkun. I don't think we know, most of us, our own. We try to, with sincerity, to see our own situation, to understand our own situation, and shine, be Mekadesh Shem Shamayim, in our family, in our situation, in the spaces and places we could shine our light. I don't have privy. When guys come to Yeshiva, each person's tikkun and the light they could shine. It takes really just empowering somebody, listening to somebody, hearing somebody, noticing somebody, and allowing them to feel their own space, their own unique station, and to shine the light that they're going to shine in their unique station. But my bracha to us all, these three mitzvahs that we're zeichet to have, Shabbos Kodesh, the bris milah, the ice in our body that we're Am Yisrael, and the task of Am Yisrael, the levana, reflecting a light. My bracha is that all of us should be zeichet, ner ishu beisa, each and every one of us, and our entire family, ner l'kol echad ve'echad, that all our mishpacha, each one of us should shine a beautiful, shining light in the stations of our life. I want to ask, I didn't get to hear the music. Is Shlomo here? Maybe you could sing Peel off the Klipa for the Chibur. Is Yehuda here? Is Yehuda here?
Neshames of Yeden, Neshames of Yeden, oh Yeden, so holy, so pure, so precious, Neshames of Yeden, Neshames of Yeden, Malchof the clippers, Neshames aviene, Neshames aviene, aviene. So holy, so pure, so precious, Neshames aviene, Neshames aviene. Oh, yeah. So holy, so pure, so precious, Neshames aviene, Neshames aviene.
If the Chevra can sing along, Elokai Neshama Shnesata
נשמה שנשאת בי. נשמה שנשאת בי. אלוהי, אתה מנסה, אתה ניצחת, אתה בי, ואתה משמר בקרבי, ואתה עשית לדבר ממני, כל זמן שהנשמה בקרבי מודה, אני לפניך. כל זמן שהנשמה בקרבי מודה, אני לפניך. השם אלוקיי ואלוקי אבותיי,
I want to introduce, for a minute we'll go back to learning, but even as a way of talking about the yeshiva for a few minutes, Aaron Baruch Hashem just became a chassan. His kala is also from Baltimore Abbey. Aaron learned in the yeshiva. Aaron was here for 2 years in the Mesivta, and then he learned in Eretz Yisrael for a number of years. And now he's back in yeshiva as a dorm counselor. And I just want to say, to me it's important. The yeshiva includes parents. When we say, even people say trust the process, the parents are part of things. Aaron's connection to his parents. His mother is a big person, the father, the tata, and his connection to his parents is deep, is profound, and they steig together. Aaron came here. He was a nice guy, a really sweet guy. I met him at a wedding. At his brother-in-law learned in the yeshiva, learned in Koil for a number of years, and I met him at the chasna. His brother-in-law was in this Mesivta, Ari Litzman, and I met him at the chasna, and I was amazed. The kid running down the aisle. How old were you at the time? He was in 10th grade, this fun guy running up and down the aisle. This kid's amazing. And he could have settled, a good kid. Everybody likes him. He's a nice kid. He decided to dig in and to figure things out. The steigings lo yeuman, tremendous aliyah, developed a deep attachment to Torah. When we dig deep here, we could also connect deep here. He knows himself and he knows Torah. Developed a beautiful kesher to Torah. Really dug in, and Steig was already a nice guy before he came, but he dug in. Beautiful ksharim to Rebbeim. That room, that Mamzeich and my son Maishi is a close friend of Aaron. Yo-Yo Rothwax was in that room. A room of guys who became tremendous, serious B'nai Torah. And I want to celebrate Aaron. It's exciting. This home, we're headed to a Chag of Neresh Ubeisai. It's exciting when a person's worked on his inside. His home will be a beautiful, beautiful home. We speak about a Bayis Neman B'Yisrael, somebody who plugged into Yiddishkeit, who's shining, who's growing, who's attached in a beautiful way. I'm thankful he came back this year. The dorm has not seen a lot of him. He's been in Baltimore a lot. Now the guys know why. They probably saw it on his face before. You can see the glow when you know things are headed right. So I just want, on behalf of the whole yeshiva, I want to wish a mazel tov to Aaron and give a bracha that he should be zeichet to build a beautiful Bayis Neman B'Yisrael, a home that has tremendous tremendous light. Just build a beautiful place. It's a kiddush You'll hear him? Yeah, you'll hear him. I'm going to ask, it's a good segue from the chassan. My son Moshe and Aaron are roommates here. They were friends together in the Mesivta. I wanna say to everybody here that my children, my sons, I have 5 sons. My youngest is 10, so he's not officially in the yeshiva, though he does rollerblade around there every Shabbos and is close to the guys. My older 4 sons all went to this Mesivta. And my sons, we have many choices. There are a lot of Mesivtas to send your kids to. I have choices. I sent my 4 kids to this Mesivta. We're a place of honesty. So somebody could say, you probably sent them your free tuition. And they'll say, nah, it's not the money. Maybe, free tuition. So I'm not looking to give away family secrets. Baruch Hashem, I have an uncle who doesn't have children, and he pays for his kids, his nephews and nieces' tuition. So minus the tuitions, that's not the cheshbon. So that's out. My 4 boys all came here. And the reason I had my boys come here is because I believe this place has a sincerity. It's not about my son being stark. I want alone in the room my son to be God-fearing, to be an Eved Hashem. I want my son to form a deep and serious kesher to Hashem, to Hashem's Torah, in an authentic way. And I believe in this yeshiva a lot. And I've had Siyat D'Shmaya, my sons have steig because my sons have Rebbeim here. My son Hudi is a Talmud, a very close Talmud of Rai Silverman. Hudi speaks to Rai Silverman, cried to Rai Silverman, expressed and talked and developed a beautiful relationship to Yiddishkeit. I have watched my son Moshe. My son Moshe has impacted me. He's somebody who has tremendous understanding of self. Kids of today, there's something happening in our people. And kids of today are feeling very, very deeply. I believe it's a kiyum of the pasuk that in Mashiach times, Hashem says the leiv even is going to become a leiv basar. People are going to feel, and there's tremendous sensitivities. We would say, I don't get it, just do. There's a good segue. I want to, Aviad's here with his father. I love when his father comes by the yeshiva to see Aviad. So, Aviad, thanks for bringing Dad and Mama. It's a privilege. The kids of today are feeling and getting in touch in very, very deep places. That's with our generation. It's not knocking earlier generations at all. We're on the shoulders. The earlier generations were huge. They were rooted in action. Just do, and that's what they were supposed to be, exactly. what they were supposed to be. There's an opportunity today of people are leaning in deeply to their own stories, understanding how things hit them, and it's opening up new areas of Torah, new madregas of tefillah. My son Maishi is somebody who's plugged into this. He's affected my life and my wife's life. Somebody who's very, very deeply understands his own self, and I've been impacted a lot by his own growth. I asked my son Maishi, I asked him only last minute, this is not fair, there are a lot of people here, but I asked, it's a good segue from Aaron, they're friends, they were in Yeshiva together, and now they're dorm counselors together. Maishi, they put in a lot. The dorm counselors are up a lot of hours till late at night, talking to guys, connecting to guys. I don't want to make it that they're martyrs, because they gain a lot. They gain tremendously from meeting people, from talking to guys. They gain tremendously from discovering the amazing beauty that's around here. I asked my son Maishi for a couple of minutes. I'll express a little about the yeshiva. So Maishi, if you can please come up. Sit.
If Dessler talks on Chanukah, he talks about, first let's go here. If Dessler talking about Chanukah, talks about there's two kinds of understandings of things. There's understanding of the head, and there's understanding of the panemius, he calls it. Stam, I heard that guy just say it's just an interesting thing. I'll come back later, I guess. The panim in Torah, every time it says the word panim, it means the panemius. It's always talking about what's going on inside. It's an interesting thing that nowadays the galus is like a real thing. What people used to use as the expression used to explain something that's chasanius now is face value. Like it explains like what you see on the outside. It's just cool in the Torah when you say the word panim, it means what's going on in panemius. Nowadays it's just like how real the galus is. When you say face, it means face value. Like how you looked on the don't judge the face, just how someone looks. The Yavanim loved Chachma. They were all into Chachma. The Greek philosophers all said about themselves, Aristotle, that he calls himself an animal. The only way to transgress to get past being an animal is with wisdom. That's the only way past. The head is the only way past this animalistic part, the animalistic parts of him. And we have a whole different kind of chachma that's way deeper than the brain. We call the panemius of understanding the Torah. It's interesting. The Torah doesn't talk about Olam Haba at all because it only, for whatever reason, Nevuah could only talk about something that's grasped in the brain. Olam Haba is not something grasped in your head. But we have an understanding that's way deeper. We have a whole world going on that's way deeper than anything we could. We're meant to have both. Not either. We have both. The Greeks only had one. We have both, obviously. There's a whole world going on that's way deeper than anything you could grasp with your head. The problem is, or the cool part is, that inside, in the brain, you could also get away from everything going on. It's the neshama mixing with physical is complicated. It's a war. You see, the Sharm says it's a war. It's complicated. Hashem's all bringing us on a journey. There's a lot going on. When you live in your journey, it's a lot going on. And it's way easier to live in your head and live in the world loves chachma, and the highest people are people who study all day. They escape. That's the only way past, as we said about the Greeks. We believe there's a whole deeper chachma. The problem with that is that you can't, when someone's not safe to express, you don't have as much control. When someone's in survival mode, where it needs to fit into somewhere, all he's going to use is his head. Because you learn if someone's getting attacked, he's not using his emotions, he's using his head of where to be, how do I stay safe. If someone's in a system where he's not safe to be, he's gonna have to use his head, how to fit in. Who do I need to please? Who do I need to make sure it's on? Who do I need to say what to? How do I need to perform? There's a whole world that's called Waterbury. Waterbury is not a school; it's an idea. There's tens of thousands of people in the world who are in Waterbury, who have never stepped foot in this place. I met thousands in my life who are full Waterbury people. And there's a whole world that we're part of here that explains the dorms. And I want to explain the dorms in one way. We're giving a safe place that we're giving a place, or I shouldn't say. I was married to Sal for 3 years. It's not. I came back to be part of this. I'm not like. It's not us giving anything. I came back. I have bigger than married to Sal Baruch Hashem, as much of us do, and I want to be part of this, and I came back to be part of this. And there's a place called Waterbury that's a bubble. That's, I guess, the way to describe it, is a bubble of shining your light, as my father said. And that it lets, and it's gonna, when you do that, it comes with complications. There's a lot going on inside. You can't shut down certain parts of you and not only allow certain light. If you want to be able to shine your light, it's going to come with with pain. It's going to come with, and it comes to beauty also. But it comes with everything. And it comes. There needs to be a lot of safety for that to happen. It's cool that in the Midway there's 49 stops. When the Yidden were coming in the Midway, there was 49 stops. And each place they dealt with a different challenge, a different thing they needed to work on before they got their ticket in Eretz Yisrael. And it's interesting that anyone been to the desert, there's not 49 different places in the desert. It's all one big sand. You can look, it's not, you hear like this place, this challenge happened. Why couldn't they stay in one, like it's weird. Like the challenge should be they should go to a city that has problems with Taiva, then they can work on that, and then Kin on a different place. You go to the desert, 49 stops, it's all sand. So the South Sema speaks out, to simplify, that if you're in a place that is, I'll say it the other way, if you, for your things to be able to come out and your challenges you need to work through, you need to be in a big empty space. Otherwise, you're not working on you're not having a place for your things to come out. You're having a place to work on challenges outside of you. I think that really sums up Waterbury in a lot, or this place. Now there's so much space just to really for someone's things to come up, and everyone's here for your things to come up, which will obviously lead to, and then say I can speak for myself, it leads to, it takes work, and it's amazing. There's just so much space for your light to come out. Like there's no, as everyone sees, there's no way of you fitting into this. We want your light to come out, and we're just giving a lot of space for that, and that's what this place is in. It's really cool to be part of it, and it's amazing to get to see, like, to walk. A few days ago we went on a trip. It's crazy. I came back this year. The difference from a few months ago, and it's not like I say, it's not the panim of the outside. It's the panemius of the difference is crazy. Like this guy being able to shine their light slowly and like more comfortable each Friday night. Just the comfortability of a guy being able to express his things and slowly. It's amazing. Thank you.
This summer, just to jump on top of what my son Maishi, thank you, those words were dvarim neflaim. He's deep, and those words were very accurate. To really jump on top of something Maishi said, I interviewed a kid this summer, a very sophisticated kid, brilliant. I'm frustrated, he didn't end up coming yet. The interview was, I loved meeting this kid. He's in Eretz Yisrael, and he still has thoughts of coming, and like Maishi said, he's very plugged in here. And a lot of what he was talking about, he got from the Yeshiva. He's very much from Eretz Yisrael, listening to what's going on in Yeshiva. And this guy told me very sophisticated questions of his life. And he said, Rabbi, do you have the answers there? You think I'll find the answers in Waterbury? And it's very, very important to me. It's important to me that the parents hear this, very important. And the answer is we have no answers here. None. He's not coming for answers here. Zero. That would be a lie to think, do you have the answers there? No. But we have room for you and your questions. We have room for you and your challenges. There's room for me here. There's room for my son Maishi, and there's room for your son here. When a guy's taken into many schools, it's a question, will he make it or get thrown out? Will he, this is a secular way of thinking. Will he make the standards? There's no room for him. If he toes the line, but how about in a world that you believe somebody has a unique light to hand the world? A unique light that him and only him can shine to the world. Then you put him and you tell him, control him, force him, see it. But let's say he has a unique light, then there has to be space for him. but really have space for a person. Be'emes, 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 have space for a person. This guy who had these questions, we don't like come here and you'll get the answers. He'll find the answers in his life. He'll find the answers in his life. We'll have space for you and for such questions. There's really space. This is a unique yeshiva and a Makom Torah that there's really space for people and their journeys. There's really, really space for a guy. There was somebody who joined. There was somebody who joined here Yom Kippur, who came Yom Kippur, an old Talmud of the yeshiva, who's had a difficult journey in his life, and he was davening very, very loudly. He was screaming the words very loudly, and some people came up to me afterwards expressing that we're so thankful to be part of the yeshiva, that there's space for him too. There's space for people in their own way. There's really space for people, and I think that it speaks about a home. Chazal speak about a home, and it says, "Avi beischa pasuach l'rvacha." Should have a very, very wide open house. It should be open. It speaks about a Rebbe, and it says, "Hamidu talmidim harbe," have many students. How many? The Mishnah is coming. There was a Yid who was in Alumni today, Rabbi Oberlander. He was one of my best friends, and together we started this yeshiva. Before we Zeichel Havdam and Chaim Chaim, Rabbi Brownstein runs the whole yeshiva today. Every detail keeps this yeshiva going strong. Before we had Rabbi Brownstein causing the yeshiva to be successful, there was somebody, Rabbi Oberlander. And we used to have a debate how many guys should be in the yeshiva. He correctly and smartly held there should be a certain number. He had a certain number in mind, and he held we should close at that. It was a very serious machlokes. I think in Svara he's right. I don't think we own the yeshiva. I felt we have no right. If a guy can grow here, let him in. I feel this is a different type of place. My father backed me, and I felt that it shouldn't go with such heshbainis. Person could grow here, don't make heshbainis. Person, you have no right to say no. So this was something we debated about, how many guys. Now Chazal say, Hamidu talmidim harbe, have many talmidim. How many? Where should I draw the line? Because it didn't give a number, I had an argument with Ray Oberlin, a very serious argument. So shouldn't it give us a number? Hamidu talmidim harbe, have many, give me the number, where's the many? It's pasha to me that what Chazal are saying, many talmidim, is to make space for people. Hamidu talmidim harbe, don't try to create one person. Talmidim harbe, the answer is if you have 10 people, you should have 10 talmidim. If you have 100, you should have 100. If you have 1,000, make space really for people. There's a story in the Musar movement, there's a very important story. Reb Yerucham was a powerhouse. Reb Yerucham was very, very charismatic. And he was brilliant and charismatic. And what's the danger? He's brilliant and charismatic, and he had a yeshiva, the Talmidim were crazy over Reb Yerucham. Well, it's interesting, when Reb Yerucham's Rebbe, the Alter, came to his yeshiva to visit, they were alone in the office, and Talmidim heard his Rebbe scream at Reb Yerucham. And he said, "You're making little Yeruchams." He said, "Your Talmidim are too like you," and he screamed at him. The Alter screamed at Reb Yerucham, "You're making little Yeruchams." We want our children to be on fire, sincere servants of Hashem in their unique light. In their unique light, not to crush, not to encourage, to connect, to relate, to allow the R that's here. We all have a unique light. Don't crush it, encourage it. Don't crush it, direct it. Just celebrate it. Let it come out in its unique, special way. It doesn't mean not to be strict. All the Rebbeim, Rabbi Zon, all the Rebbeim, Rabbi Russ, Rabbi Wasnicki, all the Rebbeim are tough on guys. It's, of course, you tell somebody sharp, you speak honest. I don't like fake. But don't crush, allow space. There really has to be space for people. So what Maishi described in the yeshiva is accurate. It's probably Maybe it's the biggest yeshiva in the world. It might be the biggest makom in the world. It's possible, right? I think there's honestly space for a lot of people. I don't know a room this large. It says about Eretz Yisrael that it's Eretz Tzvi. Eretz Yisrael is expansive. A tzvi, the deer, if you take off the skins and try to put it back on, it won't fit. Eretz Yisrael expands. What's being described is exactly this. It says about Yerushalayim, Nidche Yisrael Yechanes. There's room for every Yid. There's room for Yidden. It says about Eretz Yisrael, one of the miracles that the Mishnah describes about the Beis Hamikdash in Yerushalayim, is nobody ever said, Sarli Amakim, there's no room for me. Saying something, a place of holiness, a place of sincerity, a place that's able to carry neshamas. There's a lot of room for a lot of people. That's the dream, to have a house that's wide open. That's the dream, to have a yeshiva that has a lot. They're all different types of guys here. And there's room for a lot of neshamas. There's just space and room. And in corporates, we have guys who are sitting here learning and Seder after Seder, and somebody else on a different type of journey doing other things. But there's space. There's a lot of room in the yeshiva. So I appreciate Moshe. One of the defining characteristics of this yeshiva is there's honestly space. Now, of course, there's a way to encourage, and of course, as parents, the task of us all is to understand our children, to try as best as we can to study and understand, really lean into our own story and to their stories, and from that place we can encourage, from that place we can guide. A father, the translation of the word Av. This is not new stuff. I love in the yeshiva. I want to welcome all the fathers. Come, I don't want to cause pressure. And if your son doesn't don't listen. Come to yeshiva. Just show up on a Sunday. Your son doesn't like it, tough luck. Show up and just, you're entitled. Go to Shir and shoot some hoops with your son. I watch Rev Yaniv, beautiful person, and it's no wonder, one of the most special guys in the yeshiva, Aviad. I watch his father come and hang out with his son. I watch Aaron. Aaron's a beautiful person, one of the really special guys in the yeshiva, and I'm not trying to make a pressure. We all have big families and busy lives, but the translation of an Av, this is not a theory, this is not like modern. I want to be influenced only by Hashem and His Torah, not by any modern psychology. We have a very old theory of how to live life. And the translation of an Ab, the Taich, what is an Ab? The essence, what's a father? The translation Rashi says of an Av, says Yosef was an Av leParoi. He wasn't Paroi's father, Yosef. It's a chaver, a friend, upitaroin, and an advisor. That's the translation of a father. Chaver upitaroin. Notice it says friend first, because you can't advise somebody you don't understand. Chaver upitaroin. A friend and an advisor. That's the translation of an Av. A father's a friend. My brother Maishi said by my father's Levaye, he said, I lost my best friend, my brother said. I understand what he means. A father is a chaver upitarein, a friend and an advisor, a friend. There's a kirva, there's a closeness, there's an understanding, there's a chibur, a connection. This inyan of the fathers and the mothers are not observers of the process of yeshiva. In yeshiva, our task is to learn Torah, study Torah, and the Torah pushes, the goal of the yeshiva is to push a youngster closer to his dad, closer to his mom. It takes time. It's a process. I love seeing the fathers coming around, spending time, coming to hang out, and creating slowly that relationship with our sons, close father-sons relationships. It says about Mashiach times, it says, B'Esahi, at that time, Mashiach, I'm going to shine a special light on all Jewish mishpachos. L'chol Yisrael le'nemer. It doesn't say every l'chol mishpachos Yisrael. The importance of the nerish ubeisai, of the family, of the connection, the family connections. it's delightful. For years, they're not here right now. Eliyahu is a dorm counselor today, and he's on his way to Ches. For years, his father would show up, coming to Vadim, not to shame any. The fathers don't come. Sometimes we're busy, and sometimes we spend time in the off time, so nobody's pressured to come. It's appreciated. Everybody's here today, but really being mechazik, the connections. When it's said like respect the process, the parents are part of the process, and the tata and the mama connecting to our children, building the relationship. I apologize. Who's leaving the sound on? Who's doing that?
One of us.
The increasing and strengthening those bonds, the family bonds. Yeshiva Tzaddik is alone in Mitzrayim, and is alone in Mitzrayim. He's a 17-year-old alone in a difficult space, and what gives him the strength not to be nichshal is the mustiyuk in shalavid, the picture of his father. Some look at the picture of the father, of a father who's looking tough. I don't believe it. I said over this morning, we were learning together this morning, and I'll repeat it now. It's a verb Rebbe Baron once said here. I'm going to say it in my own way. This is the way it appears to me. Yosef Atzadik has a prophecy. In the prophecy, he says that his brothers and parents are going to bow to him. Now, all the Shvatim know that Yosef Atzadik is not Shevet Yehuda, and Yehuda la Yasir Shevet me Yehuda. Yehuda is supposed to be the Melech. And Yosef Atzadik said, the brothers are going to bow to me, and the brothers hold that he's a Navi Sheker, he's a false prophet who's Chayiv Misa. It's a false prophet, he's messing up prophecy. And Yosef Atzadik says, the brothers are going to bow to me. And we know Yosef Atzadik is considered in Halacha, the Paiskim, the first king of Klal Yisrael, when he's the second to the Melech in Mitzrayim, but for Klal Yisrael, he was our first king. He's considered a Melech in Klal Yisrael because he was a prophet. But Nathan, he says a prophecy, and his prophecy is that they're going to all bow to me, I'm going to be the Melech. His brothers say he's a false prophet. And then the brothers come to Yaakov Avinu, and Yaakov Avinu knew about this. V'aviv Shomer Sadavar. He knew about this. And then they tell Yaakov, your son is dead. If Yosef Atzadik is dead, he's a Rasha. If he dies, he's evil, because that means he was a false prophet. For him to be dead, to believe he's dead, is to believe he's a Rasha. Because if he died, then his prophecy was a lie, and the brothers were right. He's a Navi Sheker. So Yaakov Avinu Vayimayin, he refuses to believe it. My son's a tzaddik, he didn't die. Vayimayin, he refuses. Vayimayin. Later, Yosef has the Messiah of his life, and Hashem uses the same word, Vayimayin. He refuses to give in to the taiva. He's Aymed ben Messiah, the exact same word. And Hashem doesn't do things by accident. You know where Yosef got the koyach of Vayimayin to refuse to give in, to become a Rasha? Because his father refused to believe he was a Rasha. The Vayimayin of the Tata knew my son's a tzaddik. That Vayimayin caused this Vayimayin. The father knew him as a tzaddik, and Vayimayin, Yosef tzaddik, refuses. I want to encourage us all, really encourage the parents and the guys. I'm speaking to us all. And we all have a journey and a story, and it's normal. There are challenges and history for us all. I'm not preaching, I'm talking to me. I want to be closer to my son. Maish, we're very, very close. We'll get even closer. Tata and a son, a father and a son. And I appeal to everybody here as a yeshiva, we're learning Torah, living Torah. The Yeshua of Chanukah happened, the father and a son, Matisyahu Banav. This Yosef Atzadik surviving, Vayimayin, refusing to go off, refusing to do Averis was his Tata, Vayimayin, refusing to see him as anything bad, not believing he parted, because he parted means he's a Russian, my son's a Tzadik. He had a Nevuah, it's not a Nevuah Sheker. So I want to be mechazik. I say all the time, Herschel Foxbrothers' father, all the time. I want to thank all the time. Tremendously appreciated. Tremendously. Yitzi on the team. I love seeing his parents at all the games. Avi Beitler's parents were always at the games. I'm not trying to shame people to do it. I'm pointing out that it's toiv. It's toiv. Come to your son's basketball game. Come to his. Just come. The fathers and sons being mechazik, fathers and sons, the relationship, the keshner. I'm speaking to the children and the parents. To the children and the parents, to be mechazik to all of us, to be mechazik. Those ksharim are huge. The ksharim to our parents is huge in our life. Father, son, son and father, to be mechazik, that is something precious. The appreciation that the parents came today, I'm preaching to the choir. People are all busy and we all have Baruch Hashem, beautiful and big families, and we're here to be with our children. The journey is gorgeous here. It's a schus to be here, to be connected to guys, to watch people grow is a schus gadol. It's interesting. There are different stages of growth. There are stages everybody could see. The guy's at every minyan and he's learning, and that's a certain stage of steiging, and there's other stages. I'm not saying there's not something called Yerida. There's something called Yerida. Often I have seen in Yeshiva, I spoke to a bacher Friday night. It could be he's even sitting here now. I didn't see him right now. I spoke to him. He's growing nifl. I'm not saying it to prove. I think I understand what he needs to grow. He's growing like crazy. He doesn't see his growth. He's been through a lot of Yisurim. Right now he needs to feel good. He has friendship. He's close to Ezra Bork. He loves Rabbi Zone. That's steiging. What am I going to show the world? Is he doing stark? He's in Waterbury. He's not a good advertisement for the yeshiva. He's not PR. Nobody will see and say, "Oh, Waterbury." Well, it's not good PR for the yeshiva. I care. I don't want to say I don't care. Frankly, it's not what I'm thinking about. I'm actually thinking that he should be a big person, that his light should shine. He's a big neshama, it should shine to the world. He's getting what he needs. Slow. He's getting what he needs. He's comfortable. He feels better about himself. Slow. It can't always be. Rav Hutner once said about yeshivas, they have to be factories, not showrooms. A showroom's meant to look pretty. We're not a showroom, Durham. We're not a showroom. That's not, we're a factory. A factory that neshamas have space here and grow. The product of the yeshiva for years is beautiful, and we've seen tremendous success. Baruch Hashem, of people growing and developing. To do that and also play for the world, I don't think both things could go on at once. I don't add a factory. If you're also being a factory and a showroom, when you're a showroom, you're not a factory. When you're a factory, you're not a showroom. There's a factory where the shamas can be comfortable and slowly grow. Of course, there's conversation, there's honest conversation, even tough conversation. It's not about rules, it's about conversation, honest conversation. Baruch Hashem, there's a lot of honest conversation. Moshe described the Shabbosos. I was talking to my wife, the Shabbosos are getting better and better. More and more guys are joining. More and more guys are part of things. And that's what's going on in Yeshiva. I wanted to talk for a few minutes. It's not relevant to everybody, but it could be, it does what to gain for everybody. To very briefly, to talk, we have a lot of 12th and 13th graders. And the steps after Waterbury, I want people to continue to grow, to keep steiging. The connections we have are not like, there's not a school that the connections, 9th, 10th, it's not about grades. There's a lifelong connection. I want guys to keep growing and developing and Baruch Hashem, the connections last many years. We have a few yeshivas in Eretz Yisrael that guys typically go to. I don't start early in the year. We start much later than other schools talking about next year. It's something that's important to me. I get very upset if 12th grade is dedicated to next year, to first year. And then first year Eretz Yisrael is dedicated to, are you coming back, Shana Bet, and Shana Bet, and Shana, I can't stand that. But Alter Nevardik said, give up 1,000 tomorrows for one today. I like living now, present. I don't want the 12th grade year, the whole year is about next year. I don't like that. That's not how you live life, you live now. So I don't want the year to become about the next year. I want a guy to steig and grow and add and find. So the practical is we do have to worry about the next year, and after Chanukah we'll begin to bring the yeshivas. and to start talking about the options for the next year. Certainly, many guys from here go to yeshiva called Imre Bina. Many guys here go to yeshiva called Reb Fisher's. Both those yeshivas started, the first 100 guys in both yeshivas were Waterbury guys, the first 100, and we were involved in starting both such yeshivas. Similar to here, the reputation is confusing because there's range. You have guys who learn all day and guys struggling and everything in between. Both yeshivas, guys from here have had tremendous success in steiging and growing further. Tremendous success. Mosaic Rabbi Glazer is a Rebbe in the yeshiva. He learned in Imre Bina. Mosaic Rabbi Kaf, Rabbi Reis, both learned here and are both Rebbeim in Reb Fisher's yeshiva. Both those yeshivas, guys had tremendous success. We don't have control who gets in there. And we want people to know we're not like able to promise, don't worry, we'll get them in. They're their own independent yeshivas. We will work. Both those places are places a lot of guys have had atzlacha. We are definitely thinking about the Yeshiva Americas HaTorah. Avi Beitler's brother is a first-year Rebbe, and I know he understands, guys. The main requirement to go from here to any yeshiva, the main requirement is we treat people maturely here. You can't be treated like a baby again. It's impossible. If you're treated as an adult, you can't go back and say tzaddik to a kid when he was treated like an adult. Here, the nature of the chinuch is we treat people very maturely. There's honest conversation. There's open. Once you have that, you can't be babied again. It just doesn't work. Apologies. And there are places that treat people like babies. L'shem shamayim, I'm not, but it just won't work. Once a guy's treated like an adult, it typically doesn't work. The yeshivas in Eretz Yisrael that treat a person more maturely, more honest conversation, open, are what tend to work. We will work after Chanukah. We're promising guys come back. We do a night that's called Eretz Yisrael night. I want guys to talk to their parents. I don't want the yeshiva to choose a place. And guys sometimes think like, tell me where we should go. I want guys to make decisions with their parents. What we're gonna do is after Chanukah, we do this every year. We have somebody presenting who went to every yeshiva. We'll have somebody presenting for Merkaz, for Torah Chaim, for Imre, for Reb Fisher's, for the different yeshivas. We have guys who speak about those yeshivas to the guys to inform, and then slowly guys start choosing a place. I asked, we'll believe that there for the 12th and 13th grade, we'll do some Zoom. We've done some of the years. We'll do believe that this year a Zoom with the parents to try to give over just the basics about the different yeshivas in Eretz Yisrael. But after Chanukah, we'll start presenting. It is a little later than most places. What the yeshivas do guarantee us, both Reb Fisher and Imre know that we like waiting a little later. They understand our reasoning. And both of them leave the spots that they would give us, they leave them for later in the year. So not to panic, we do have spots in yeshivas. We're speaking, there's Hashem, we do have some pull. We have Rabbi here, whose son's a Rebbe in Merkaz, and we have some pull there, some in Torah Chaim. So definitely after Chanukah, we'll have to start getting to work, but that's just how the process will be concerning Eretz Yisrael. That's how the process will be, Be'ez Hashem. I want to mention something to the younger guys in yeshiva and their parents. And I want to say like this. The dream of every bacher, the dream to get to, and I hope I see a guy like Aaron Harel, he is putting in full days. I watch him. Sidarim, Minyanim is putting in full days. The dream is that guys get to a place that day in, day out, Limnais Yameinu Kain Haida, that they put in a day that's serious, that's intense. And we have 10th graders doing that true. I've watched his parents are not here, he's not here. His parents are on the way to a chas, they were here earlier. Rabbi Singles involved, coming to stuff, and many young, it's not an age thing. There's some guys who are not ready for day in, day out. When I say not ready, they're not gonna put in a full day. It's not where they're up to. I can want it, you could want it, that's not where the kid's up to. That he's not up to a bacher putting in a full day. That bacher may get that he's very close to his dorm counselor, has a close relationship. He's very close to his Rebbe, has a good relationship. And we're giving what we can. There are some guys, and again, I want a guy to want to be here and to be here day in, day out, and to have an attitude, I don't want to miss a day. I certainly value every day here, and one guy's here. I want to say when your son is not ready for that, so some guys, I'm sure that many kids, if I go home with you today, parents are here, ride out. So I want to say if your son's not ready day in, day out, it's not gefährlich. We have guys, a guy goes to work for a month or two. My goal is not to capture him here. There are guys who've gone to work 2 months. I have guys not here now. I'm very, very close to him. We're working together. He's not ready to be here yet full time. He's close to a Rebbe. He's in touch with a Rebbe. He gets a job for a month or two. That doesn't contradict. I'm not the office. Speak to them, minus tuition for 2 months. I'm not coming to answer tuition and business decisions. I'm coming to say that we're really trying to give guys what they need in truth, the honesty of what they need. I have seen guys early in their career say, misses a couple of weeks now, I want him to value Yeshiva, but I want to get to a place that he appreciates. I'd rather a guy is here less but loves being here, is here less but decides to be here and slowly builds up. We have plenty of guys you couldn't pay them to leave for a Shabbos. For Kol Mom and Shavayim don't want to leave for Shabbos. I'm in Yeshiva. And I want each guy to get there. Along the way, it takes time. It takes time to develop that. In general, you all came here. Durham's beautiful. You see the campus is stunning. But if you think about the nace, guys like coming to Yeshiva. Do you see any restaurant that the food here is delicious? It's true. Canteen's excellent. But then you're coming from cities where there are restaurants everywhere. Passaic, Baltimore, Muncie, Lakewood. You come here, it's not like that. Why is a kid happy here? It's not, they could do many more things accessible in the cities. Many, in every area. L'tayvul l'mutav, there's more available in the cities. Guys are happy because I have a Rebbe, because I have Chaverim, because I'm slowly finding me, I have space. Slowly I'm figuring out, and people are happy for that. So I want to say that if a youngster wants to leave, again, if a guy says he's not happy here, that's very serious. He's not happy, maybe it's not his place. But people have a cash, if you love it there, why can't you stay more? There are times where slowly, a guy has a job, a guy wants to be home a little longer, weekends again, and patiently, there'll be a day a guy doesn't, we've seen this over and over and over. As guys grow and you see guys connecting to Yeshiva more, building better days, slowly, slowly. The goal is that a guy builds a significant, serious, healthy day. There are many, many guys, you could ask them their schedule and they can describe a very significant schedule. I'm looking at Avigdor, I watch him, he's here, Avigdor's here a lot of the day in the Beis Medrash, part of the activities, and is building slowly a very, very healthy, strong, good day. I watch daily, I watch Akiva every day with Rabbi Russ. Every Kemat every day. I don't think Kemat never misses Musar. Then goes to the practices. Then dominates leagues. I see guys who put in a very, very beautiful, full, healthy day. That's certainly the goal. But it takes time, slowly, to allow for a process of getting there. I think a lot of times when people put pressure on a youngster, and what are you exactly doing, and I don't get it, a lot of the younger guys can't even explain their process. Can't even explain. That guy I spoke to Friday night could not explain to you his process of growth. He knows he's happy. So when should I be concerned? If a son is not happy here, that's a big deal. That's a concern. He doesn't like it here. That's very serious. I'm not saying everything, but if your son says, I'm happy here, that means something. I love Yeshiva, even if he can't articulate why. The cynic will say, you're just smoking all day. It's not fun to smoke all day. Smoke all day means he's running away. So why is he still happy? Why is he happy there? Some could articulate it, some can't, and some don't want to articulate it. But a guy being happy and comfortable, the younger years, even he goes home a little extra time. Again, we want him in Yeshiva. We love a guy here, and certainly the dream is he wants to be here and he's plugged in and has the capacity to plug in, day out. The Shabbos are stunning. Any parent would come for Shabbos. And I recommend to try. We try as best we can. Parents have come. A father was here this past Shabbos. Any parents come. Shabbos is gorgeous, is stunning. Our children slowly, some guys can plug into the Shabbos and be part of an experience. Some guys, for all different reasons, struggle to plug in. But as they plug in a little more, and take a little more from the Shabbos, we see tremendous, tremendous benefit. I want to ask if there are any questions. If anybody wants to ask a question now, it's not to hesitate. If there are any questions, comments that anybody wants to ask, it would be appreciated. Silman, should we ask the questions for everybody, right, Silman? Daniel, Aryeh Silver's here. The way Daniel was excited that his brothers are coming on Shabbos, he told me, true, Daniel, that you were excited your brothers were coming? Excellent. I love that.
Aryeh.
We are Shlomo. Come up with Relly and do another song, Shlomo. Relly, come up. Relly Greenwald.
Come on. Yeah.